Asian Network.
And my friends, tonight's No Filter is with Bups, who joins me right now. First of all, Bups, thank you so much for leaving the Midlands.
Thank you.
And joining me in this glorious temple to music here in London.
Beautiful. I love coming here every time. Khushi hundi hai.
Is that the building or London in general?
That's just the building. I'm happy living where I live, like, you know, nice farmlands and stuff, but I love coming here.
I've got to say, because I don't even live here. I live in Birmingham now, and I love doing the show here during the week, but there's nothing like getting back to the Midlands and going, ain't no pollution, well, not as much pollution, less pollution. I can get to where I need to in the next 10, 15 minutes, and most people aren't going to shout at me if I get in their way.
Absolutely.
All right, so first thing I just want to touch upon, because I didn't really know this, and I'm sure the deeper Bhangra heads are going to know this, but you know how most DJs who then become producers talk about how they weren't trained, and that's in a way kind of what makes them special, because like they understand the dance floor and they don't have to do the traditional music thing. I had no idea that you were actually headhunted by the Safri boys. And you were part of the band for a while.
I was 16 or 17 when I was headhunted. Actually, you want to hear a cool story? Balwinder Safri, the Gurdwara that me and my parents and family used to go to, Wolverhampton. It was in town anyway. Safri was there doing a Sunday special, call it.
Right? Basically spiritual,
a spiritual
music.
thing. They got to give it back to the community, don't they?
Seva.
Seva. So I remember I was a little youth. I used to love his music, and I said to Safri, I said, one day I'm going to play with you. I remember him laughing and just brushing it off. And
that's nice of him.
Yeah, it's just very, very nice of him. But I was a little kid, probably very annoying too. And on the way back from a gig, you know, we finished the gig and Daru Kichi in the van, in the minibus on the way back, and I said, do you remember that kid at the Gurdwara? And he actually remembered. He goes, yes, I remember you, because he kept annoying me throughout the whole night. The whole day. I go, that kid's me, and I'm playing for you now.
Oh my God.
But I was headhunted by him because I think Parminder was the door player prior to me. He got married and etc. And I was a little kid, just eager.
The typical British Asian music story.
Yeah.
What happened? Well, they got married.
And
then they kind of retired.
And mortgage, had to get a proper job or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I played with Safri, and then from Safri I played with loads of bands, man. Like the whole circuit.
So how did that happen? Like where did you learn, and how big was music in your family life as you were growing up?
Dude, it wasn't like my parents have always loved music. My mum was she used to play sitar back in the day, so she always used to talk about it. My dad's a songwriter, poet, more a poet than a songwriter. So they've always loved music in the house, so we've always heard it. And no one really taught me. I was taught at the Gurdwara. I went to the Gurdwara to learn tabla, dholki, etc.
And why? Like, was it your parents saying, go to Gurdwara because you can learn these instruments and then you can become a musician? Or was it actually something more spiritual?
No, we lived by the Gurdwara. So if, like the Bhangra heads, and if you know Wolverhampton, I lived on Dudley Road. And Sedju Shri Gurdwara is one of the biggest temples in Wolverhampton on Dudley Road. So it was very close by. And we lived in a small community, so everyone kind of knew everybody. And it was just a thing. There's, I remember the Harkeval Singh was teaching tabla at the Gurdwara, so all the kids decided to go to the Gurdwara to learn, and I really wanted to play, Bobby. Like I've always wanted to. I've always been eager, and so going to the Gurdwara, it was nice though, because it was, like I said, it was a small community, and us kids played together, we learned together. I remember when I got to play, and I accelerated faster than the teacher wanted. And I remember this very clearly. There was a beat that he was playing. I even remember the beat. I even had to say it. And I started playing it faster than him. And remember him grabbing my hand. And this is when you could hit kids. And he smacked the top of my hand with the hammer.
Yeah, the hammer that you tighten the tabla with and loosen it up.
And I'm not this. Don't copy what I've just done. And I'm not condoning this. But I got so angry. I put him in a headlock.
Wait. Let me just rewind this. You're young, you're in a Gurdwara, you're there to learn a Sikh temple, by the way, for the few listeners who don't know what he's talking about. You go there to learn music. He hits you with a hammer, and then you put your music teacher in a headlock.
Absolutely.
What a Wolverhampton story.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic story, but that was the start of my career, knowing that, okay, He got jealous of the fact, or he got annoyed at the fact that I started playing faster than him because I knew the beat. I got bored. I'm like, yeah, teach me something else. Hits me with a hammer, so you're going to do something back, aren't you? And I remember going home, mum and dad already found out. I don't know how they found out, probably phone call or whatever it was. Or somebody
it's the Gurdwara grapevine.
Gurdwara grapevine, I love it.
It works fast, man.
Yeah, and that was it. But they never said anything. They asked me the reason. I said he hit me. They go, okay.
Yeah.
That was it. So, and that was the start of my musical journey. I put Yanni in a headlock. I shouldn't have said that. Like, that's wrong.
Hey, look, if anyone can talk about putting Giannis in headlocks, if there's one place to be able to do that, it's No Filter.
It's absolutely, yeah, but it was his fault.
Okay, all right. So obviously you've been carrying around this pain over this Gianni for a long time. I just want to, before we move on, because whenever I see you, I'm not saying you can tell when someone's violent or someone will always stand up for themselves. But when I look at you, I would never put you in the class of someone who would ever put anyone in a headlock. After that early learning experience, have you had to put other people in headlocks throughout your career?
Do you know, not in my career.
We don't condone this, by the way.
No. Not in I mean, I don't condone fighting. I've never really had a fight in my life. I've never had a fight in my life, should I say. So I don't condone violence. But the only other, this is so true. I can't believe I'm saying this. But the only other person I put in a headlock for a laugh was before I married before I got married to my wife. It was her mummy. Right.
Wait. Her mummy, not even mama.
Mummy.
Her mummy.
Yeah.
You put a female relative of your future wife in a headlock.
Absolutely. But we were. It was my wife's 30th birthday. I was invited. This is prior to us being together. Yeah. And everyone had a bit to drink, and she got me in a headlock, so I got her back for fun. So those are the only two people I've ever had in a headlock. One was from the Gurdwara, and the other is my wife's mummy.
You know, usually when we do no filter...
No filter, man, no filter.
No, but usually when we do no filter, by this point, we're really deep and we're going back to people's childhood and their psychology of their upbringing and their relationship with their mother and father. This one went the other way, and within a couple of minutes, we got a Gianni in a headlock and your mummy in a headlock.
Absolutely.
All right, I think it's time to play a track, bro.
Let's go.
Just tell us a bit about... that tune, is it one of your special tunes? Is it up there in your top 5, or is it just like are your tunes like your babies? Do you have specials and favourites?
Well, you're going to, aren't you? I think, Matta Tekia was possibly, I actually put that in my top 5, right? Even though it didn't do as, I don't think it did as well as I expected it to. That's only because I had it in an album, and that was just the way it came. It was in the package. But that song has a lot of meaning for me, and even at the start of the song, I'm mentioning all my relatives. It's got my pua at the beginning doing the voiceover, and but it was just nice because I made that album when I had no money. I rinsed whatever I had. I had to take 2 loans out and just to do it, and I was broke before the age of 30, and then from 30 onwards, I've had money. Yeah, and I made money, and the thing is, I've been through not having anything, and I think that's what's beautiful about the whole album. Is it was a struggle for me, and it changed my life.
Okay, look, can I just touch upon a subject? For the people who know you and who followed you, they'll know that you had a situation happen in your life that comes to everyone at some point, which obviously was pretty devastating for you and your family, and that was the loss of your mother. Yeah. I just want to say, first of all, obviously my condolences, which I've already expressed to you. How does someone who's expected to smile every time they're on stage, who's expected, especially I think with Punjabi music, there's not that many dark, aggressive tunes within Punjabi music, someone who's expected to take the cushy of life and put it into their music, how do you come back musically and career-wise after losing your mother? This was only a couple of months ago.
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago.
The thing is with my mum, she and my dad, they never stopped me to do anything, what I believed in. And it's really strange, really. The reason why I've got a lot of energy and I want to come back so soon is hearing stories that and conversations that my mum used to have with her friends and other relatives. I've heard this from a few people where mum was very proud of me, right?
Did you know that at the time?
Well, yeah, I mean, my mum used to say, but I don't think you know, sometimes when your parents just say things and like you're like, oh, thank you, that's nice, but it doesn't really sink in.
Yeah.
I think everything sunk in when mum passed away, and I think talking to her friends that she used to talk to closely and relatives, when they used to say that, you know, mum was very proud of you, and that you've done really well, and I think that's when you kind of grasp it and it really means something. So I think that's maybe my biggest motive to, you know, there's no point in me sitting there dwelling. I mean, am I expected to take more time out? Am I going to seem insensitive if I come back in so soon? But she never stopped me then, and she wanted me to do well, and I'm hearing that she was proud of me, so I'm going to, you know, to keep making her proud. So, you know, it was hard, Bobby, I'm not going to lie. The first few weekends, you know, I'm heavily involved in the wedding circuit.
Yeah.
So I had, well, the great thing is that the Asian music scene and a lot of the top DJs and companies, they came together and they helped me out.
Really?
So, yeah, which is really nice. So,
see, that's not something you'd assume from the get-go. You know this because you're deep within the Punjabi scene, deep within the Desi beat scene, deep within the wedding circuit, deep with all of that kind of stuff. I just assumed it's a sea full of sharks out there.
It is when it needs to be, but it can also come together when it really, you know, when times like this.
Yeah. So
I was pleased about that. So so I had a couple of weekends covered, and then I thought, you know, I'm gonna get back on. I remember this. This was 3 weeks after Mum died, and I had 2 gigs on the same day. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie, because I have to stay smiling, be happy for someone. Do you know what I mean? But there was that element of guilt at the same time. You know, I'm having fun. Like, am I allowed to? Should I?
Can I ask?
Do you know what I mean?
I totally understand that guilt feeling. And as you say, you've squared that in your head because your mum's friends and other relatives have said she's really proud of you, so you're doing it for her. So where does that guilt come from? Is that guilt there because you feel like you need to mourn fully for the people outside looking in on you? Is it? I'm just trying to work out what goes on inside your head when something like this happens.
See, I don't know. I'm a firm believer of, I don't follow society. I don't believe I need to do something because I need to impress, you know, Falana, Dingara, you know, this family, because they don't have an opinion. I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care about those people, because if they expect me to behave a certain way, then they don't really know me, and then they don't really care, because people deal with situations like this and any other situation, serious matter, they deal with it in their own way. Everyone's unique, right? So the way I'm going to, and my close family and friend know this, that when I deal with things in my own time by staying busy. That's who I am, right? So that element of guilt wasn't because I feel like I need to behave a certain way because they're expecting me to. I think the element of guilt was just my inner demon saying that I wish I had spent more time with her. But I was so busy in my music life and making, you know, trying to do things for myself.
We all do it, you know. Like it's almost like the trouble with the mother and father's love. It's so intense and so beautiful. It's not that you end up taking it for granted, but you end up going, they want to see me work, so I'm going to work. So I'm not going to spend time with them, because even they might say, why are you spending time with me? I want to go and work, you know?
It's true. I missed a lot of family events on the week. I mean, when families get together, I used to miss a lot of them because obviously I'm on the circuit. But they never, ever had a problem with that. You know, if it's a close family wedding, sometimes I would take the time out. But if there's a wedding, they would go and represent. They would never expect me to do it because I'm always working. I'm making myself better. I'm building up on my career. But I think the element of guilt is maybe I could have, I don't know. See, the thing is, in times of this, and I'm very honest, and I was honest when I put a post out because it took me days to write. I'm confused. I was confused. I'm still confused. I'm confused because I don't know. I don't know where I don't know where I should be going, or should I be taking baby steps, or should I just carry on with my life and deal with the loss? I mean, where am I going to find it?
Yeah.
I mean, at what point am I going to mourn, or have I mourned? I don't know. You're way confused. I mean, when she did pass away that evening, I did have my moment. It was me and my wife, and after that, I've never really had a chance. So I don't know whether I'm done with it, or that was me. That's over with, or is it going to happen somewhere down the line?
Yeah, because look, I'm not an expert at all, but from what I hear, this isn't from what I hear, it's just obvious. People never get over the loss of a parent. And secondly, from what I do hear, from speaking to people who've gone through this, it usually manifests itself much later down the line.
Yeah, I've heard that. So I'm waiting for that point.
Yeah.
If it ever happens, this is it, Bobby. The thing is, you're just left so confused. You're in limbo. So, but for me,
there's no handbook.
No, there isn't. There's no instruction. There's no manual. And everyone's different. So whether I come to that point, I come to it. Whether I don't know, because everyone's different. But all I know that I want to continue working because it's who I am, and I'm not going to lie about it. I enjoy working. Yes, I've lost my mum.
Yeah.
But I enjoy working because I've got a great fan base that were there. Do you know, when I shared everything, and I was vulnerable when I spoke about it. Do you know what I mean?
You okay, mate?
Yeah, good.
If you want to take a moment.
I'm good. Let's go.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's play a track. I know you're having an emotional moment. So on that level, I think I'll play Man's Not Juck. If that's all right.
That's fine, man. Let's go.
Bups Saggu.
This is
No Filter. This is Bobby Friction.
You're listening to No Filter here on the BBC Asian Network with myself and Mr. Bups Saggu, who's been speaking at length about the music industry. More importantly, putting priests from Sikh temples in headlocks. You're gonna have to,
And Mummy.
and mummy as well. If you've missed that, you're going to have to use the BBC Sounds app. And also, I really, really feel honoured that you've been okay with talking about the loss of your mum only, as you said, only 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing about this, and that is, you know how you said everyone was saying that she was really proud of you and she would have been proud of you working. And then you also said something else. You went, my family know that how I deal with things is I just work and then I'll deal with them when they come.
Yeah.
Aren't you worried that throwing yourself into work is the perfect excuse to not psychologically deal with the loss of your beautiful mother?
Maybe it is. But when you don't know any better, because like you said, there's no manual script for how to deal with a massive loss. And in my head, the only thing that makes sense is to keep going, because maybe I'll find it some way. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that kind of guy to sit there and dwell, and I can't do that. I have to stay busy because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And maybe somewhere down the line I might find that it was easier because I stayed busy. I don't know, Bobby. Do you know
Look,
what I mean?
with all this talk of gurdwaras and essentially your relationship with your Sikh religion, it's not a very Sikh thing to basically just stop everything. If you look at the core messages of Sikhism, a lot of it is about don't go off into the mountains, don't go off and become meditational and then leave your responsibilities behind. Do your seva, and most importantly of all, live in the real world. So in a way, you in modern day, mental health language, you're not doing the right thing. But then as a British-born Sikh, you're doing what a lot of Sikhs are brought up to do, and that is kam kar, keep going, and then deal with it when it comes.
Because everyone's got responsibilities. I've got a wife, I've got a daughter, I've got another kid on the way.
Really?
Yeah. So I've got a lot to think about now, and there's 4 siblings in the family, Right, and my sister's married in Coulsdon, so she's not in the local region. She's not around my mum and dad's house. I mean, the rest of us are in Wolverhampton, or in and around Wolverhampton. So I've got to be there. My brother's got to be there. My younger sister's got to be there. So
Is this for your dad?
for my dad. Now he's good, man. He's getting on with it, and he's stronger than I thought. And the thing is, my mum left instructions for all of us, which I won't share on there.
Yeah,
that's
no,
very
of course
private.
not.
So we're just going by what she wanted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, everyone's gonna deal with it in their own time. But yeah, like I get it. Like being Punjabi, kaam kari jao.
Yeah.
Keep moving, and I get it. And maybe like the whole mental health thing. Maybe it's not the right thing to do, but what is the right thing to do?
Yeah.
Do you sit there in a room and do you start yoga?
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's gotta. Everyone's different, and I think I'm still discovering at what point when is it gonna manifest with me, or has it? So I'm at that point now. So
Okay.
it's gonna keep going.
I'm going to read a text out, and then I think let's move on from this. Cool. And I hope you don't mind me reading this out to you. It's coming from someone who's listening in now, called Pete, who says, "I really feel for Bups. I lost my parents, and I'm telling you right now, it does hit you later. Can you please just give him my respect and Sat Sri Akal and God bless?" And that's from someone
Thank you,
called
man.
Pete.
God bless you. God bless you. The good thing is, Bobby, when I put a post out about my mum and I shared my experiences with her, and
It was
and how-
beautifully written. It was really nice because in
Yes.
this day and age, most people, everything's done on social media. People will put up pictures of a close person who's passed away, and they'll just say, "This is the funeral stuff, and we'll love you forever." What was really nice was your extended post was a real storytelling of your relationship with
Yeah.
her and the mother and son vibe that was going on. I'm just saying, like, it's not very typical for Bhangra producers to do that, and it was very
isn't,
beautiful.
But I think it was important. 2 reasons. It was important for me because I'm not very good at talking, and people know I'm not very good at talking. You're probably finding that I'm trying to find the answers, but I can't, because that's who I am. And this is probably the most I've spoken, right,
yeah, in
this situation with what's going on. Now, that post was important for me to share to the world that I never cancer is a horrible disease, and it has taken many lives. People survive from it, people don't, and people live with it. And it wasn't real until she died.
Yeah,
that disease took her.
yeah,
And I think that was the point where I had to share it with everybody, to tell them that it is a real disease. Whether they take it in or not, that's up to them.
Yeah.
For me, that post was important because it shared 2 things: that cancer is real, and my regrets.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And I think people need to understand that there's, it's important to. I mean, people say all the time, it's important to spend time with your parents and your loved ones, for that matter. And it's always easier saying it when it's too late,
yeah,
right? So for me, that post was important to tell people that if you know deep down that it's the right thing to do to spend time with your loved ones, don't brush it off.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Accept it and do it, and try to make time.
yeah,
So I think that's all that, for me, that was important for me to get out.
yeah,
I think maybe it was an element of my regret, or whatever it was. My guilt, whatever you want to call it, and my love.
and also seva to the people reading the post.
Because it's important. If you teach somebody something, right? That's what we learn from the Guru Granth Sahib, like in Sikhism, like Sada Guru, and we're learning from it. So I'm not saying I'm a guru. I'm nothing like that. So don't take this the wrong way, anyone. I'm just saying, if I can, give my viewpoint, if I can teach somebody something from my experience, then that's important. Or seva hundi hai. And an amazing thing is, Bobby, on my DMs and the back end from Facebook, from Snap, from Instagram, the number of people that spoke one-to-one with me about their loss, and I spoke to them about my loss, was magical. Like, I don't know, it's because it was a point of connection for somebody who's mourning to somebody else that's mourning. I don't know him from Adam.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's what's beautiful about it. And I think that's a great thing about social media
Yeah.
as well, because you can connect with people that you would never have thought you could connect with. And I connected with people that have lost people through cancer and, you know, all the diseases, or, you know, but they've lost their loved ones, they lost their parents. So it was a great way of them reaching out to me. And maybe it's good for them thinking, okay, you know, you see these Bhangra artists, you see these music, you know, their lives are all glossy. We all go through ups and downs. We all have dark patches, right? So I'm a Bhangra artist who is going through a dark patch, and social media was a method for them to contact me and let me know about their experience, whether they helped me or, you know, or they needed help to speak to somebody who they believe their life is perfect. Do you know what I mean?
That's humanity distilled to its most purest form, which is people emotionally reaching out to each other, even if it is through these weird words like Snapchat and Instagram, you know.
I think that was, I never expected that. But the thing is, I made time for it as well. Yeah. And I think that was a process for me. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, that post was important. And I think that post helped a lot of people. It certainly helped me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Thanks for coming in today.
No, man. No worries, man.
The whole plan was to definitely speak to you about this loss, because it was so big. It would have been ridiculous of me
to ignore it.
Ignore it. I did want to actually get a bit cheeky and a bit tabloid and get a few questions in about what are the real musicians, you know, like when it comes to DJs, and what the wedding DJ. And I wanted to get some kind of gossip and some of the more intricate stuff about the wedding industry. I think we're going to have to leave that for another time.
Mate. That's fine, mate.
And seriously, if this makes, I don't think it's going to make you feel any better. I feel your pain.
Respect.
Other people, I think, can feel your pain. And you talking openly about what's happened, it's not only helping other people. Most of all, I think if it helps you, then we're all happy. If some of that darkness, maybe that's the wrong word, but some of that negative energy is taken out of your body and thrown into the sky, I'm happy, and I hope we achieved a bit of that today.
No, it was good. It was good. It was good talking about it. Like I said, I'm not very... I think this is easy because I know hundreds and thousands of people are listening right now, but it's like talking to you. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
All right.
Respect.
Asian Network.